I'm still a work in progress. So don't ever have me out here having anybody think that I am a person that even feels qualified to fat shame anybody. Not fat shaming Lizzo. At the same time, I think fat shaming is kind of one of those things white liberals made up so they can just run around and eat whatever they want and get mad at people for calling them out on their bullshit. The last piece is another type of shaming that the liberals made up. Again, they love to socially engineer. They love to make words up. This word is slut shaming. Slut shaming is a term that where basically they're saying, you know, mind your own damn business when it comes to whatever I want to do. If I want to go and have sex with 14 people, you know, a night, I can do that, and you have no right to pass any judgment whatsoever on what I do. Now, I do agree with that to a point. I do agree that I think sex is a complex thing. I think everybody does it. It's quite fun. If you haven't tried it, you should. But I also think that when you talk about sexuality without talking about at least having some conversation about the responsibility, the heavy burden that comes with sharing your body with another person, I think that you're giving very bad advice. So, for example, with Black men, and I got in trouble for this. I got in trouble because I warned Black men. I wrote an article a few years ago. And again, because media is stupid and people aren't that smart, they misinterpreted what I was saying, but it's okay. It happens. And I basically told Black men that they should be careful about running around sleeping with everything that moves, because at some point, if you run into a crazy girl, she's going to falsely accuse you of something. And when you get accused as a Black man, you're kind of done. Like, there is no, in America, an accusation is as bad as a conviction. So Black men have to be careful. Well, I remember I got a lot of pushback on that, but I pushed back on the pushback. You're not going to push me down on my point of view, because these brothers need protection. They need to be warned. They need to be warned, because what happens is they will convince you to go out here and just do whatever you want, and nobody has a right to tell you what to do. And then when the consequences come knocking, you act like you're a victim. You act so surprised, when the reality was that somebody should have warned you in the beginning. It's like when I was at Syracuse University and I used to warn them. I was like, why are you encouraging these young freshmen to go out here and get drunk and just become alcoholics? I said, do you know what happens when somebody becomes an alcoholic? Their lives fall apart. Their body falls apart. They do dumb shit. They go out here, they get raped, they get arrested, they get into all this shit. And you're not warning them, you know, about the consequences. You're just acting like everything's okay. Everything ain't okay. You know, so with the whole slut shaming thing, I'm kind of the same way with that. Here's the deal. Here's what I want you to process this for a minute. Please let me know if you're getting what I'm saying on this point. So I need you to connect the dots here. On one hand, you've got the feminists in their quest for what they consider body positivity, you know, anti-slut shaming, all this other stuff. They're encouraging ratchet ass hoe-like behavior from Lizzo. Like they're applauding when she goes to a Lakers game with her booty out in front of children and twerking in front of the crowd. And they think that's great. They think that's wonderful. And you're slut shaming if you call her out on that BS, right? So you're hypersexualizing this Black woman. You're taking this mammy role and you're presenting the Black woman as the biggest hoe to ever walk the face of the earth. Simultaneously, you're running around and you're upset because you got the R. Kellys in your neighborhood that are looking at your 12-year-old daughter saying, I'm gonna get in that ass. They're looking at your little middle school child and saying, hey girl, can I get your number? And you know what's happening is some of these little girls, because they've been sexualized at an early age, because they grew up watching Lizzo shake her ass at a Lakers game. They grew up watching Cardi B brag about how she can swallow 2 cucumbers at the same time, right? So they're thinking they're growner than they actually are. So when the R. Kellys pop up, like, hey girl, you know, girl, I can get you a Gucci purse. Just get on in my limo. She's thinking she's grown because she's been introduced to adult concepts since she was 7 years old. She's been reciting lyrics from Cardi B since she was 6. So she thinks she's ready. So she's walking right into the jaws of the lion, and you prepared her to be the lion's dish. Why? Well, because you're stupid and you don't know how to connect the fucking dots. Do not go sexualizing the Black woman in this way and celebrating that, and then somehow acting surprised when you got R. Kelly type dudes run around the neighborhood connecting with little girls. And because I'm gonna tell you, I see R. Kelly's victims and the little girls that, you know, and all this stuff. I empathize with all of them, but I would be willing to bet you that in 80-90% of those cases, they were coming after him too. It wasn't like he kidnapped them, grabbed them off the street, threw them in the back of a van, and drove off. No, no, no. He said, hey, girl, I'm 6'5". I got $10 million in the bank. I'm world famous, and I sing like a bird. You don't think that there's some young, impressionable girl who's growner than she, who thinks she's growner than she is, who's not receiving adequate parental supervision, who's been reciting raunchy ass lyrics since she was 7, who thinks she's ready for that? You don't think? I mean, let's just keep it 100 right now. This ain't politically correct. This is not a politically correct conversation, and this is not a conversation built for stupid people. If you are stupid, all you're going to know how to do is get mad at what I'm saying because you have no response for this. You have no way to explain this away. So the bottom line is you cannot go out here and encourage the hypersexualization of the Black woman, where all these little girls are looking up to. All these little girls are looking up to Lizzo. They're looking up to Cardi B. These are their heroes. And I'm a grown ass man, and I hear every lyric that comes out of their mouth. I watch all their gestures because they're trying to appeal to men. I'm a heterosexual man. I notice when a woman says something sexual, my ears pop up like, ooh, what you say? Right? And so I'm sitting there thinking, man, are you kidding me? You got 7-year-old girls who are looking at these young ladies as heroes, man. That's why the world has gone crazy. That's why you get the problems that you have, because you never learned how to connect the dots.